was a lot of concern last month when Texas effectively opened up, dropped all those restrictions and said it's back to life. And if you go to Texas, as you know, it looks like 2019. The restaurants and the bars are full and open. The ballparks are full. And yet we've seen cases and hospitalizations since then continue to tick downward. So what do you make of that as all of us look around and sort of try to consider how safe it is to get back to normal life?
Yeah, it can be confusing because you may see a lag and a delay because often you have to wait a few weeks before you see the effect of what you're doing right now. There are a lot of things that go into that. I mean, when you say that they've had a lot of activity on the outside, like ball games, I'm not really quite sure. It could be they're doing things outdoors. It's very difficult to just one-on-one compare that.
It's so confusing. I don't know, says the highest paid bureaucrat in America, Anthony Fauci, who receives $413,000 from your money to be the lead on COVID. Somebody who's been very outspoken about St. Fauci's lack of upstanding probity in the last year is former chief of staff to the 45th president of the United States. I asked him in the break, how would you like me to introduce you? He said, well, just your friend. I like that. Mark Meadows, welcome back to America First.
It is great to be with you and all the listeners. And listen, if there's one thing that Dr. Fauci is consistent about, it's his inconsistency, and so we shouldn't be surprised by that narrative. It's hard for him to argue with the fact that lockdowns don't work. That mask mandates are not curtailing the pandemic in New York and Philadelphia and New Jersey. It's just amazing to me. But freedom always does work. And thank you for being a voice for freedom and for the America First agenda.
Well, that's very kind. I want to recognize you as one of the people. You could have stayed in your comfortable position on Capitol Hill, but you decided to step into the toughest arena of all, running the White House for President Trump as chief of staff. So kudos to you. Follow this man at Mark Meadows. In addition to his consistency in his inconsistency, would you just share just a sentence on misrepresentation by Dr. Fauci, what he said about things behind closed doors and how it wasn't exactly how things really happened, Mark Meadows?
Well, I think there's two things. One is when we look at the mask mandate, and now we're double masking, soon it'll be triple masking. I can remember a particular conversation that I had with Dr. Fauci and Dr. Birx where I said, and this was very early on where we had a shutdown. I said, well, if you're saying that we can open up the entire economy and get people back to work and just by mandating a mask, then let's do it. And they said, oh, no. We're not suggesting that. We're just saying that mask may help you be a better neighbor, a better person to someone that you come in contact with.
Wow.
And yet the other factor is in the privacy of those rooms, there was Dr. Fauci consistently saying that there was no way that we would have a vaccine that could ever be brought forward. And now he's doing the Al Gore. He's taking credit for inventing this vaccine when it was Donald Trump and his initiative that made the difference.
If you want to know who the real Dr. Fauci is, just go into your favorite search engine. Don't make it Google, and look up AIDS and Dr. Fauci, the man who mismanaged that virus and now is being less than transparent about what he did in the Trump administration and his role today. We're talking to Mark Meadows, former chief of staff to President Trump. Follow him at Mark Meadows. Mark, talk to us about what's going on in Georgia and the reaction of the woke corporations across America. Is this going to blow back in their faces, or is this just something that conservatives are going to have to deal with?
No, it should blow back. It's got to blow back. I can tell you that I made a decision yesterday. And listen, I served a district that was almost a bedroom community to Atlanta. Coca-Cola and Delta were names that you used each and every day. And yet yesterday when we booked a flight, we booked it on another airline, particularly because Delta decided to play politics instead of actually acknowledging good policy. Coca-Cola is the same way. I don't think I've had a Pepsi in 10 years, and yet now it is Pepsi instead of Coke, and that's sad. Being from the Atlanta metropolitan area, but I can tell you also this: that we need to continue to stay in the fight, because these woke corporations are going to soon realize they don't have a friend on Capitol Hill. They don't have anybody willing to stand up for them because they think the Democrats are going to do it, and ultimately their socialist agenda will come back to haunt the very corporations that are weighing in on this political battle in Georgia.
I'm going to discuss it later, but United Airlines is now part of the woke karate. They tweeted today something about who should be flying their planes. You will be shocked. I'll share it with you momentarily, but we have to talk to Mark Meadows about his impending visit. He's leaving the swamp. He's going to Mar-a-Lago, not to work on his tan. Give us your expectations. It's his decision, of course. We're all praying that he makes that decision, but the likelihood of your old boss, my old boss, running in 2024, it seems every day he's got another statement he's making. He's opened his office. He's doing political endorsements. So are you feeling good, Mark?
I'm feeling great about President Trump's willingness to serve once again in the Oval Office. I can tell you this: he's making all the preparations necessary. He's being encouraged by his friends and former staffers as well. But ultimately, what I think you'll see is a vision for America that didn't stop on November 3rd, didn't stop on January 20th, and we need to reengage. So he's getting major encouragement, and I would say this, that I would put the odds at better than 50-50 that he runs again, and everybody should take note of that.
Well, you heard it here first. Last minute we have with you, we're talking to Mark Meadows, former chief of staff for President Trump. The establishment GOP and the Rhino subclass, are they going to lose their stranglehold on conservative politics? What else do we need to do? You're live now to millions of listeners across the nation. Give them some advice.
Well, there's two things they need to do. They need to continue to stay in the fight. Do not believe that this battle is over. In fact, if anything, it's ramping up with those that are Republican in name only, the establishment, the swamps, trying to fight back to make sure that they don't remember President Donald Trump. The second thing they need to do, the fighters that are actually fighting for your values and my values and for we the people, let them hear from you. Call your favorite congressman, call your favorite senator that's willing to fight the fight, and let them know that you appreciate it. If you have to ask, they're probably not on our team.
Great advice. He's on his way to Mar-a-Lago, not on Delta, not on United. He's going to be drinking Pepsi. Say hi to the boss. God bless. Keep doing what you do. Your call's next here on America First. 833-33-GORKA. That's 833-334-6752. Sound off!